Let's talk about the concept of walking it back. So I thought I'd do a short video on the concept of walking it back. Now, this concept comes from emotional awareness and expression therapy. And I think it's a really useful way to understand our pain or chronic symptoms. So when I was in pain, I remember each time I would get a new pain symptom coming on, I was terrified that something physically was wrong with my body. And I think a lot of people get lost in this. But we know with chronic pain and symptoms that a lot of times they're not just physically triggered, but they're emotionally triggered. Neuroplastic pain and symptoms occur due to learned neural pathways and our emotional state. And so our emotional state can cause new pain and symptoms to pop up. And even for myself, I haven't had chronic pain or symptoms in many years. But I'm human, and sometimes if I'm not taking care of my emotional needs, one of my old pain symptoms will pop up, or sometimes a new pain symptom will pop up as well. And this is where the concept of walking it back can be really helpful. And it's a really simple concept. It's the understanding that when you have an onset of a new pain symptom or one of your old pain symptoms coming on, you walk it back. You walk it back 2 hours, a couple days, a couple weeks, and you think to yourself, was there an emotional event that triggered this? Or sometimes it's even thinking into the future and being like, is there some big change that's coming that I'm feeling an emotional danger about? And by doing this, we shift from thinking physically about our symptoms all the time to thinking emotionally. And it can be a really useful thing to do right away. And we need to almost train ourselves to do this, because otherwise we just end up in this place where we're constantly thinking that there's something physically wrong with our body with each new symptom that comes up or each pain relapse that happens. And so I'll give you an example. In this example, this happened, I think it was back in October of last year. And what was going on is I was doing a number of presentations to healthcare providers, doctors, surgeons about a mind-body approach. I know for myself, I tend to be anxious very easily. And so when I have big presentations, even though I really enjoy doing them, I really enjoy spreading this message, it increases the level of danger that my brain is feeling. And so at the time, I had 2 big presentations, both in different cities. So I was traveling around. And also at this time, my daughter became ill. She got pneumonia and ended up in the hospital for a few days. So it was kind of chaos. And when this chaos was ensuing, I stopped attending to my body. I stopped taking care of my emotional needs. I didn't even really think about it. I was just kind of on autopilot, moving through my life in this way. And so in between these 2 presentations, because they're a week apart, I was working out and I was doing a back workout and a bicep workout. And what happened is I came down off a pull-up bar and I felt this pain come on in my lower back, and it was spreading down into my legs. Now, to give you context, this pain was the original back pain I had years ago that I recovered from. Almost the exact same sensations. Now, when they first happened, I had a moment of panic of being like, oh my goodness, have I done something? Because I did come down off of a pull-up bar, but it was a pretty gentle landing. And so what I did right away is, instead of getting lost in this pain fear cycle, I walked it back. And it didn't take me long to realize, whoa, you've been feeling a lot of difficult emotions around everything that's taking place. You're feeling pressure, you're feeling anxiety. I was feeling sadness about my daughter, and just overall, just overwhelmed about everything that was taking place. And by walking it back, I clued in right away that this was probably an emotionally caused pain. It wasn't physically caused. And by doing that, what I did is I then spent time over the next day or two really attending to my emotional needs. I created safety in my life. I slowed things down. I made sure I was spending time with my daughter to help her recover, but I was also attending to some of the anger and anxiety that I was feeling internally just about life being in utter chaos at the time. And by doing this, and by also feeling safe with the pain sensations, so I also was doing somatic tracking for pain. I was trying to be humorous about it, kind of point out to my brain, I know what you're doing. And by doing this, the pain actually subsided within 2 days. And so within 2 days, I was back to fully working out and fully engaging in moving my body again. Now, when this pain first happened originally, it lasted, I want to say, at least like 2 years of just like constant back and hip pain. So it gives you an understanding that walking it back can be really beneficial. It can be really helpful in us attending to our emotional needs, checking in with our body. And by doing this, we don't become preoccupied about the pain and that something is physically wrong, because that will just perpetuate the new pain symptom that's coming on for you. So in your life, practice walking it back around some of your pain symptoms that are taking place, as it can be a really useful concept for our recovery. So I hope this video was helpful. Please put your questions or comments down below, hit the like button, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.